All right, good morning, you crazy kids. You guys are hilarious. Let's do this. Today's episode, Pokemon Part 2. It's going to be so much fun. Can everybody hear me all right? Just want to make sure. Let me make sure you guys can see my face. There we go. Yeah, let's do this. It's going to be fun. Isabella, not sure what you're saying. I love fire spreading all around my room. That sounds like a disaster. I hope you're okay. Um, Hadassah, I see you in there. Who else is in here? We got, let's see, Zach is here. I see two. All right. Yeah. Anybody else that I missed? I'm just kind of skimming them. I'm so excited. Limits of my own world and make believe kids screaming. What exactly are you singing, Isabel? I'm very confused. Very interested. Um, if you didn't do Tuesday's class, you should definitely go back and watch it. You don't have to do that before this class. But this class is going to be a lot of fun. I'm not even going to spoil it. Let's just get into it. All right. So today's class, we got Pokemon Part 2. And that means we're going to continue learning about drawing Pokemon. Our morning plan is we're going to do an art review. Then we're going to do a quote of the day. Then we're going to do some discovery drawing. Then we're going to do a karate break. And then we're going to do some growth drawing. And then we're going to do a challenge of the day. Then morning mail. And then I'll see you guys next time. All right. Sound good? All right. So he's here. Awesome. I see it. Okay, cool. All right. Now, our art review. You guys crushed it. It was really cool. I loved what you guys drew. Colin, I loved how you did it in your style still too. It looks very much the same pose, the same characters, but you also edited the eyes and the body proportions to make it your style, which is very impressive because that's not an easy thing to just do right off the cuff. Usually I do sketches before I could do it like that. Okay, good. So sorry, I'm just catching up the comments too. I'm glad you guys saw it. You and your brother saw it. Oh, gotcha. That's so funny. Isabella, you're funny. Hey, Kate, I see you in there. Cool. Awesome. Just making sure I didn't miss anybody's comments. Zoe did an awesome job. I love your Ghastly, especially how you gave the red veins in the eyes. That was really cool. And the shine and the gradient in the eyes, where it goes from a darker purple to a lighter purple. It looks like we did a little bit. That's really cool. Very nice job on your Ghastly, and your Pikachu is very cute too. All right. Cool. And I love how everybody's so supportive in the comments. Keep it up, guys. That's honestly the best thing you can do for other artists is just support them. And that right now, that's just doing what you guys are doing. Just encouraging them, giving them notes on what your favorite elements of their drawings are. And then when you're older and people, or not, I mean, probably that much older, but when you guys are selling your work and stuff like that, always offer to pay your artist friends for their work. A lot of the times they might say that they'll do it for free, and that's cool too. You can do art swaps are really fun, where you could just trade art too. But it's always important to appreciate their work, and you guys are doing that so well. So I'm just really proud of you guys. Okay. So if you guys want to send in your work, just send it into Teacher Noah. I don't think I've ever done this pointing thing right. I can see it right there on my screen, but it's flipped. Yeah, that's right. And our quote of the day is by Nikki Giovanni. She was born in 1943 in Knoxville, Tennessee, and she was a prominent poet and writer. And she first caught the public's attention as part of the Black arts movement in the late 1960s, which is so important, especially right now, because because now more than ever, people are realizing how much we haven't learned about Black culture, Black people, and how much of it has all been like kind of swept under the rug. And yeah, and so it's just important that we yeah, highlight these artists. She had a really good quote too that I like. This is her when she was younger, which I thought was kind of cool because it reminded me of some of you guys when you're young and just kind of have that that like, I don't know, that young enthusiasm about what you're doing when everything is very new. And it's a lot of fun. And she even said, so she said, everything will change. The only question is growing up or decaying, which I really like that quote too. Let me know in the comments what you guys think that quote means. Everything will change. The only question is growing up or decaying. And while we step into like our moment of mindfulness, ooh, that's pretty good. I should just call it that. As you take a moment to breathe, close your eyes and think about some things that you see changing these days. So let's take a breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. All right. Okay. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And slow down. Okay. Now, as you take a moment to keep on breathing, I want you to think about some of the things that are changing these days. Nikki had a fantastic point. Just because something is changing doesn't mean that it's good or bad. So there are a lot of changes that happen that are good, and there are a lot of changes that happen that are bad. Let's try to make this time, to take this time when things are becoming more open to change. And like our schedules or our points of view, those things seem to be changing a lot these days for a lot of people. And let's remember to direct them to a change of growth and not a change of decay. So let's try to be more understanding, more accepting, more kind. And also with our schedules, let's try to be open to the things that we probably shouldn't have been doing before, and the things that we can do more of. As we move on to the next portion of the class, I'm excited to draw all the changes that we can see with our eyes and using as a reminder that everything will change. So, as we move on to our next portion, I'm going to call this section Discovering a New Species. And so if everybody has your sketchbooks out and ready, let's do it. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you slow me? And change, or for Zoe, let me see, I'm reading what you said. Does it mean choosing to move on and change, or stay the way you are and never learn? Yeah, kind of. It's because that's kind of what decay means, right? And that's interesting because it's still changing, but they're saying that basically you can't even, if you stay the way you are, you're changing too, but you're just decaying, because if you're not growing, you're kind of falling behind because the rest of the world is changing. So you're actually not going to be where you need to be or be able to do what you need to do if you're not willing to adjust and grow with the rest of the world too. Isabel, are you still quoting song lyrics when you said that about feeling skinnier or can't tell if your body belongs to you? Or is that another line lyric? Yeah. Or is that serious, or is that a line from a song? All right. So you guys will love this. Discovering new species. If you can see right here, this is baby Slider. Look how tiny he was. He was like barely, he wasn't even 3 inches. He was trying to stretch out his back leg to get that extra inch. But his shell is pretty much like 2.5 inches. Okay. Okay. So for this portion of class, I wanted us to pick an animal, and we're going to turn it into a Pokemon. Okay? And so if you guys have a pet, or if you guys have like, I don't know if you see a squirrel outside. I know my mom talks to a squirrel outside her window since quarantine has started. You could do that. And yeah, and we're going to try to turn this animal into a Pokemon, almost like we're discovering a new Pokemon species. Okay, so let's see. For example, I looked up some of the turtle Pokemon that they already have, just to kind of get a reference of what kind of things they're doing. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I think we can definitely add something and do something new to this. Now they have this guy on the top. I think he's more like a fire type and a water type, and there's a grass type. So they got kind of like the basic three at the beginning, but we're gonna try to do a different type. So here are all the types of Pokemon right here. And while you guys, I'm going to leave this up for a second so that you guys can look through them and pick what kind of type of Pokemon you want to make your animal. So also pick an animal. And Orca. Okay, that would be cool. Okay. Yeah, so pick your Pokemon. Pick your Pokemon type. And let's say first Slider, I think. Ooh, I didn't even know about some of these types. I think I want to do like a Psychic type. I always thought those were the coolest Pokemon. You're gonna do a dog Hadassah? Okay, cool. All right, did you guys pick your types? I hope you did. If not, I think you can pause the video, you can look back at them, or you could even just Google them yourself. I want to do a Psychic type for Slider. Let's see, I'm going to pull up the images for Slider. Let me... okay. See what these Psychic type Pokemon look like. Just so I can have some kind of I feel like these are perfect. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, these are all the Psychic type Pokemon. Let's take a look at them, and then that way we can get kind of like a reference for what we're which one we're going to be doing. Okay, so let's see. Interesting. Yeah, I think Slider will be perfect for this. He's got the eyes. Okay. Interesting. They're kind of all over the place. In the comments, what do you guys see as the similarities of these Pokemon types? Let me hide Slider. I see some of them kind of have like ornate costumes almost, like puffy clothes or fluffy collars or flowy kind of gowns. A lot of the eyes is part of it. A lot of them kind of have like almost like dream-like eyes where they're like narrow and squinted. And a lot of them are floating, it looks like, which is kind of cool. And a lot of them looks like have pretty decent contrast of colors. All right, let's do that. Okay, so based off of my notes, here we go. You're doing dark? Oh, okay, cool. All right, I'm doing dark cat Pokemon. Nice. All right, so what did we say? We said close. said, and what was the other thing? We said flowy, big clothes, dreamy eyes, contrasting colors. I forgot already what we said. Okay, let's see. I guess that's good. Okay, cool. All right, so now in my head, I'm already kind of coming up with an idea of what we can do. I'm gonna change it though. Okay. Wolf and ice is the dragon orca. Oh, very cool. Okay. So now there's this like famous I totally what is that person that has all the hands where it's like boop doo 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 doo. Flying. Oh, flying. That was right. Yes. Thank you. Perfect. Who said that? Wait. Isabella. Awesome. Coming in clutch. Okay. Oh, I did floating though. Okay. Or unless you're picking flying type. Oof. A wolf too. That'd be hilarious if you just called it an oof, a wolf, instead of an oof. Okay. What? How is this not showing up? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to. If you guys know what that is, let me know. I'm looking for that picture where it's like the one hand, then the two pairs of hands. There's a lot of pairs of hands because I think that would be kind of cool to have Slider almost as that, but then different hands are popping out of his shell. And I think that would be kind of like a cool like psychic meditation like Pokemon. Okay, let's see. Since I have the inspiration for that, I feel like that would be like the. Okay, these would be like his little feet, kind of like popping, like clicking together. The bottom, let's see. I'll make his shell a little bit more ornate. Maybe make it almost like a cowl. It's like a. There we go. How you guys looking? The multi-handed creatures. Oh, that's from Greek mythology. Durga. Okay, or Durga. Durga. I think it's probably. Let's see. And it definitely spells it wrong. Hey, there it is. Awesome. Perfect. That's what I want. Yes. Okay, cool. Because I wanted to be able to incorporate some of this into the picture. Machamp. Ah, that's funny. Machamp. Yeah, Machamp does also have a lot of arms. I see the cat Luna from Sailor Moon because she looks like a psychic cat. Oh, that's cool. Okay, lots of it. Cool. Okay. Is this really? I thought there was one with like where the person was blue, or maybe I'm just mixing them together. Okay. These are kind of brutal. All right. Okay, I think I'll just do it like that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. There we go. How are you guys coming along with yours? Are you talking about Machamp? Okay. I'm guessing you guys are drawing because you stopped commenting. Usually that means you guys are like well into your drawings. Okay. Okay. And I always liked in like cartoons when characters their fingers were just their nails, like their claws. Thought that was always looked like really cool. There we go. All right. Oog. How are your wolves going? How are your ice cats, ice foxes going? All right. Okay. Oh, bat wings. That's cool. Yeah, and you guys can mix and match. Definitely just keep like look at other Pokemon, see kind of get inspired by what they've done with theirs. And then you could add whatever seems to work for yours. Maybe Slider's like little tail is kind of like this. I feel like that'd be cool. I make his tail bigger like that. Okay. Okay. I feel like something about the head doesn't match. I feel like this is like in lower evolve. Okay. Anyway, let's see how we're doing on time. All right. Now to make it look more like a Pokemon, I'm just going to show you really quick. Message loading. Okay. A golden retriever with wings. It looks nothing like a Pokemon, but it looks like a golden retriever. Okay. So to make it look a little bit more like a Pokemon, here, let's get rid of my notes. What we're going to do is we're going to draw over it on a new layer. And if you're working on regular paper, you can still do this. All you'd have to do is take a piece of paper, hold it on top of that piece of paper, and hold them both up to like a window or a lighted screen, and then you should be able to see through your picture, and then you can trace over it with like a pen. Okay. So watch, we can go like this. Alright, and being able to trace over it and give that clean line will make it look a lot more sharp. These lines are still a little shaky, but it's okay. Cool. You can always clean them up later. Okay. Oops. Okay. Alright, how are you guys doing? Mine looks more like a fox, but I like it. Okay, cool. Alright. Let's see how he goes. Okay. Keep on trying with the eyes. Isabel, I would suggest, Hadassah, sorry. I would suggest looking at different Pokemon and just seeing how they drew their eyes. You can just, that's something you can totally just grab from them, because then it would also still look more like that style too. Okay. Okay. Oops, that's way too big. Alright, and now that we have like this color laid down really quickly, we can hide the sketch underneath and we can lay in some color, and that'll help also make it look more like Pokemon. Let's see, I kind of like this color. Good. Make sure you do this all on a different layer. Let's see, try and pull some from these colors. So I think that robe, like this draping thing around its head is going to be red. There we go. And if you guys are really struggling, wait, should I do Pokemon eyes or Golden Retriever eyes? What would Pokemon Retriever eyes look like? Try that. I'm curious what Golden Retriever eyes look like. Okay, here we go. Actually, we already figured out, right, that turtle shells aren't actually green, they're more like brown. So that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, cool. Let's see. I think these parts right here around the arms should be a little bit lighter version. This. Alright, what color should the legs be? That's the real question. Or the skin, I guess. Kind of like this green. Let's see if that works. I'm just pulling colors from the actual Pokemon. That'll help it look a little bit more like a Pokemon too, is if you use those colors. I don't think that works actually. I think it needs to be more like yellowish green. I think there's definitely a few other little details that we can add to this too that we haven't quite hit yet, but for right now I'm kind of liking where it's going. Alright. And of course there's like the shading element. So all I like to do for the shading, right, this is my trick, I take the color, I go into the color picker and I move it closer to the blue and then a little bit down to the left. And I get this like, yeah, it's like a little bit desaturated, so it's a little bit closer to the gray side and a little bit darker too, so I move it down to the left. And then now you get a nice little gray, like, actually I don't think that was dark enough here, let's see. Get a nice kind of shadow color that you can use. We can do that for the same for each of these different parts. There we go. Just kind of throw it in there really quickly. I'm spending too much time. Okay. Cool. How are you guys doing with yours? Golden Retriever eyes are very dark. Okay. So there's our Pokemon, our Psychic Turtle Pokemon for right now. We're going to take a quick second to stretch and change gears with a karate break. What are you guys feeling today? Are you guys feeling we do some Sensei Says, some combat forms, or just some, what do you guys say? Comment forms or Sensei Says? In the meantime, I'm going to teach you guys how to do a back fist. All right, let me know in the comments. Here we go. So, put your hands up like this, or you can put them like this. Now for a back fist, you smash your hand like that forwards, and you still hit it with the same two knuckles that you do when you punch. So these two knuckles are what you punch with, and with a back fist, you hit them with the same two knuckles right here. Okay, so that's back fist. So now while I'm counting down the countdowns for the back fist, I want you guys to let me know comment forms or Sensei Says. Okay, Isabel's already saying Sensei Says. All right, ready? Here we go. Back fist and each, ni, san, chi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. All right. Let's do a couple stretches while everybody else is still voting. I think we're gonna go with Sensei Says though. Stretch out your arm like this. Oh, good. Like that. Stretch out your other arm like this. Good. Like that. All right. Put your arm on top of your head and pull down your elbow like this. Good. Do the same thing with this side. Good. Okay, and with your wrist too, just so for your hands, so that you stretch out your hands. Pull your fingers back like that. Good. And this one too. Pull your fingers back. All right. And that'll be good. It'll help stretch out the tendons in your arm and your muscles there. Sensei Says. All right, let's do some Sensei Says then. Here we go. Ready? Sensei Says horse riding stance. Okay. Okay. Sensei Says horse riding stance. Sensei Says rising block. Sensei Says rising block. Sensei Says middle block. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says heel palm. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says spear hand. Sensei Says spear hand. Sensei Says front kick. Sensei Says front kick. Sensei Says kyosuke. Sensei Says horse riding stance. Sensei Says kyosuke. Sensei Says horse riding stance. Front kick. Did I get anybody? All right. I feel like I might take a pause too much, and then that's why I'm kind of like letting you guys know that I'm not going to say Sensei Says. So, okay, let me try to slide it right in there, okay? Sensei Says kyosuke. Sensei Says fighting stance. Sensei Says horse riding stance. Sensei Says rising block. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says cross block. Sensei Says down block. Sensei Says middle block. Sensei Says spear hand. Sensei Says heel palm. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says down block. Sensei Says middle block. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says spear hand. Sensei Says front straight punch. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says straight punch. Straight punch. Straight punch. Did I get anybody with those extra straight punches? Okay. No. Okay. Hadas is still in. Isabella's still in. I'm running out of water. Alright. Sensei Says... Sensei Says horse riding stance. Good. Alright, make sure you sit down on the horse while you're not playing, Zach. Okay. Sensei Says horse riding stance. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says back fist. Sensei Says back fist. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says back 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 fist. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says straight punch. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says hammer fist. Sensei Says spear hand. Spear hand. That's the first time you're still in. Guys, I just realized my neighbors probably think I'm insane. Just like, what is this guy saying? He's just like talking nonsense. All right, last round, because then we want to draw a little bit more, okay? Okay, are you guys ready for this? Okay, now, Sensei Says, from a horse riding stance. Ready? Sensei Says straight punch. 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 Sensei Says front kick. Sensei Says front kick. Sensei Says front kick. Sensei Says front kick. Sensei Says Down block, synthesis, down block, synthesis, down block, synthesis, down block, synthesis, straight punch, synthesis, straight punch, synthesis, straight punch, synthesis, front kick, synthesis, down block, 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 synthesis, front kicks, down block. Did I get you on that one? Okay. You guys are not out yet. You know what I need to do? I need to teach you guys the other kicks. And I think that'll be the thing that gets you. I'm writing that down. Totally forgot about the other kicks. There's back kick, there's side kick, there's roundhouse kick, there's axe kick. There's a lot of different kicks. Okay. Y'all are too good for me though. Okay. Let's switch it up to our next portion. So we already discovered a new type of Pokemon. You're so out? Oh, gotcha. Oh, Isabel, I didn't get you. All right. So we were quoting, Nikki was quoting growth today, right? And talking about growth, saying that things are either decaying or that they're growing. And so in Pokemon, they have this thing called evolution. And I mean, that's not a thing just in Pokemon, but in Pokemon, when they talk about evolution, they talk about a character evolving into a bigger, like a more powerful version of themselves, which is pretty spot on for how everybody uses evolution. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to evolve our character. You guys ready for this? Okay, here we go. Okay. So I already brought some pictures in. So we have this one of the new Pokemon slider that we made up right here. I pulled up some pictures of the evolutions for Pokemon that I thought were really cool. I like how simple they are. There's like almost no outlines. And you can see the different evolutions for these Pokemon. I feel like, yes, there we go. Okay. And you can see how they start off very cute. When they're like babies, they're very round and kind of cuddly. TT, no, it can't be me. I will get you one of these days, Isabella. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. All right. So let's see. They start off very round, very cute. But when they grow up, they have like a kind of a mixture where they're kind of almost neutral, I would say, where it's like some toughness, some cool, like different changes of the look, but a little bit more stretched out, but still kind of round, like very much just in the middle. And then as an adult, or like a fully grown evolved creature, it usually looks a lot more intimidating, a lot more stronger looking, like it's a lot more muscles, whereas I think the middle one doesn't seem to have as much muscles. I'm not sure what they made Charizard gray in this version, but yeah, okay. So I feel like with ours, or with the one that I'm working on right here, I feel like this one could be, what do you guys think? A middle or morning mode? Oh yeah. Looks like somebody was sleeping in too. What do you guys think? Does this one that we drew already, does it look more like a middle stage or a fully like grown stage, a third stage? While we're picking that, let me know in the comments. I found some extra pictures of Slider. So this is the one of him when he was a baby, like when I got him. This is one when he's a little bit, this is kind of not too long ago. And you can see how much he's grown already. You can see how the shells, you see those little, like, these little parts in the shell. Here, I'll show you. These little parts, these little circles, yeah. So those all stay the same, but what happens is that it grows with new layers around it, almost like a tree trunk. So then that's what these layers are, and they keep on growing, spiraling, and then that's how he grows, and that's how a shell grows. So all the same original shapes are the same, but those pieces have been like expanding. I'm hungry for lunch. I'm going to have leftover pasta from last night. You guys are so funny. Okay. Now, this is him when he's like, this is like a pretty recent picture. And his shell is looking nice. He's looking fly. He's much more like bigger. He knows how to walk a little bit better. without being so klutzy. Although the other day he did just flip over on his back, and I had to come rescue him and flip him over. It was very sad. He looked very freaked out. But that's what he gets for trying to climb up the wall, so I don't feel too bad for him. Okay. So yeah, now, Slider is actually a sulcata tortoise. So he's not actually a turtle, but I just call him a turtle because a lot of people just assume that he is anyway. But yeah, technically he's a tortoise, so he doesn't really love water. He has a little tray of water, but he stays mostly in the desert. His tank is always like 95 degrees. And yeah, so let's evolve our character. Mo, check it out. Look at this is our, oops. This is our Pokemon that we created in the first portion of class. And we need to come up with a little baby version. And I'm going to actually take a lesson from how they did these, and I'm going to try to do it with just colored instead. You think he's middle stage? Let's see, let's see how many, okay, hold on a second. How many we got for each? I thought we had a lot for middle, but Isabella just wrote it down a million times. Isabella said middle stage, last stage, middle stage. All right, I think we got 2 for middle. Zach, I'm sorry. I think you're the only one that thinks it should be the last stage. All right, I'm gonna make it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it middle stage, and I'm not gonna change it too much. I might simplify it down a little bit for the middle stage, but I'm also gonna make it a little bit cooler for the last stage. Okay. So, for evolution for this character, for Slider, I think I'm going to keep these pictures up instead. Okay, I'm going to use the colors that we have already because the colors seem to change the same for the most part. So let's make a little baby Slider. Okay. Oh wait, and maybe instead of like the red cowl, it's like a red blanket that he holds and that he always like puts over his head, kind of like a little baby, like a little kid has a security safety blanket. Okay. There we go. How's this looking for like a baby Slider? And both is when I spell it. Yep. I'm making the baby version right now. Let's see. The baby's hands are always very like stubby too. We still have the claws. Let's see. Okay. This is where we give him the blanket. There we go. What do you guys think of that so far? Okay, she might be feeling out of the spotlight. Oh, Mary Shelley. Oh, we can, maybe I'll have Mary Shelley model for us next time. Alright, so here's Baby Slider. I think his shell needs to be bigger, actually. Or maybe his head. I forget. Okay, let's try this. Oh yeah, that's much better already. Okay, I'm thinking of something like that for Baby Slider, or like the first round. I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna try to finish the other ones, just because we are out of time. But I think that's a good. Here, check it out. Look at this. Is the new evolution for Slider. Or started off like that little baby. I gave it like the short Bulbasaur kind of face that it has with that little like point in the lip right there. I think it's cute. Let me know how you guys are doing with yours. Let's see. Let's go back to our slides and okay. Our challenge of the day is to try to make evolutions with your creation with one from every type. Okay, so now that this is like a psychic type of a tortoise, this is a psychic type of a tortoise, but we can make it all the different types. Like you can start with just like the basics and make it like an earth type, fire type, and like a water type. And then you guys can come up with a whole new character based off of the same animal now that you've done some research on the animal. So that's your challenge, and they call them evolutions because Eevee is the one that has all those evolutions of her, where it's like she's got one from every type, I think. So that's the challenge for you guys. Also finish the ones that we already started today, where you're drawing the middle, the beginning, middle, and last final stage, adult stage of your Pokemon. So try to do that too. Our morning mail comes from AJ. AJ said on Tuesday, sorry, had to leave the class time to run errands before curfew. LOL, but this is what we were working on. This is what we were working with. And I like it. I like the ghastly. I like the sketchiness of it, and like how the face is just, you can tell in the lines when you draw a picture like that you can tell that it was done quickly. And those lines just have so much life to them, which I love. And I think that all lines should have life in them. When you kind of take your time too much, sometimes the lines just kind of get stiff, and the line itself feels dead, and then that makes the whole drawing kind of look a little lifeless. Catherine, I do not know what letter you're talking about. Your letter in the actual mail? I didn't see it yet. But nice job, AJ. Oh, and I noticed, AJ, you have a Central Perk, like a friend's mug. I will raise you your Central Perk mug and challenge you my Office mug. So, Office is 100% better than Friends. I don't mind Friends. I like Friends. It's funny. It's just not as good as The Office. Anyway, nice job on your Pokemon. And for next week, guys, submit your drawings to noafontana@gmail.com. You know that. Be featured on next episode. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. I'm going to do that right now. And boop, now there's 6 likes, so you guys can pump up those numbers. Let me know what like you were. Oh, somebody just did 7. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can click the little bell. That way you'll be notified when we do another live drawing. Also, let me know what we should draw next. And if you want to help support morning cartooning, that would be awesome. There's a link below that you can do that with. Next episode, I'm so excited for it. We're going to do Muppets. Do you see that right up there? Boom, boom. Okay. For next episode, we're going to do, I'm going to just let you know so that you can come prepared. So I'm not going to have it be a super surprise. Come with your pencils, your colored pencils. We're going to draw and sketch out. We're going to look at some like Jim Henson's sketches. and we're going to see how he sketched out his characters. And then we're going to, for the second part, we're actually going to create a Muppet character. We're going to try to use glue, use tape, use a sock puppet, use ping pong balls for the eyes or something. But bring supplies when you do this and have them ready to go, and like a Sharpie and stuff like that, so that we can maybe even Google eyes, so that we can create awesome puppets. Okay, I will see you guys on Tuesday, and I hope you guys stay safe and keep on drawing. Okay, bye.